This is Drop Tent Media Network.
Seriously, Dad?
Seriously, Dad? Two father comedians out of Philadelphia. Seriously, Dad?
Dad? Seriously?
Dad?
Seriously? Seriously?
All right, welcome back. Seriously, Dad, we got a fan favorite in the house tonight.
The handsomest. He's an actor,
He is handsome, isn't he? He's like a Bradley Cooper.
Notice how you said it fan. You didn't pluralize it. It's not fans' favorite. It's fan. There's one favorite.
Have you seen
out
our numbers?
There is one person out there that loves this guy.
We have an
It's just me.
OnlyFans. Yeah, we have an OnlyFans.
She had a kid with him, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Believe it or not. Two of them.
And we only got that fan because Albert was showing his feet. That's the only reason.
Yeah, true.
That's right. And he's an actor. Remember we did twirling.
We did a little twirling recently.
Yeah,
It
we
was-
did Dan Ostrov and Baby Goblin.
I'll tell you what, coming into that sketch was funny because I didn't read the script at all. It was awesome that it was like written out very well.
Yeah.
And then we shot the day before. So like that was the day I had lines. And I read it like to prep for that, but I didn't read like the second day where it was all of us together. So if you watch the sketch at the end of it, it's just like all the characters come together in a scene. And when they were filming it, you were upstairs filming your part, and I could hear you making it way too sexual, whatever it was.
I went all in. Yeah.
And then I thought that the whole thing was people were supposed to be getting like overly like
Excited.
sexual about it. And then watching it back, it was just you. It was just you getting.
The director was like, Albert, just be you.
They're like, we can't turn it off once you hit that
I crossed
switch.
the line.
When you unlock sexual chocolate.
But it was making me be like, am I not being sexual enough? Do I have to turn up a
I'm not
notch?
gonna lie, you'd be a little prude, bro. You could have tried harder. I don't know.
Well, I don't know if we physically actually said, but John Montague in the house.
Oh yeah, I guess we should say his
Yes,
name.
because
Yeah.
and people probably butcher that. What do you get, like Montague?
You nailed it, yeah.
Montague.
It's rare. I get a lot of Montagues. I get weird ones. I get people mispronounce my first name all the time. I get called Josh more than I get called John.
Because they're worried about the last name.
Do you think I have Josh face? Is that what it is?
I think you have Josh
Think
face.
Josh
totally.
face?
I have Josh face.
Yeah, you do have.
No, you have Bradley Cooper face.
A Coop face.
I mean,
I have a Bradley face.
Dude, bro.
I'll
You're a
take it.
handsome
Yeah, I
fucking
think
dude.
you're handsomer than if I can be so.
He's more handsome than I
bold.
am?
No, not than you.
Okay.
But just
Dude, I
than
saw him.
Bradley
Dude,
Cooper.
him running down he was running down your street, and it was like just the right amount of fog, and it looked like they were filming a Lululemon ad out front of your
It's
house.
funny because this is a Lululemon.
Because there's
hoodie
no
for sure.
he said he got dropped off. There's no
Advance.
car anywhere to be seen.
Yeah. He had,
So it looks
the
like he
black
ran
XL
there,
Uber
and he had like the perfect amount of sweat, but it's like he could still go out to dinner.
No,
Like,
no. My wife had to park. I told my wife not to drive down the street. It's too narrow. She's
There's no sight of his
Mom,
wife.
drop me off around the corner.
That's the thing he said. Don't. You're gonna embarrass me. He's on the porch.
She's like giving him snacks.
He's on the porch.
It's a
Mom, it's
granola
fine.
bar
Neil's
in
got
case you
coffee.
get hungry.
I was like, Neil's got coffee. I don't need your snacks. It's fine. Just let me out.
It's like it's just a Calvin Klein commercial.
That's
He's
all it
filmed.
is.
Yeah.
This whole thing is Calvin Klein.
You're on your break from Aloe right now. This is actually my
we're
cigarette
wrapping
break.
this thing up soon.
He's gonna have a new Super Bowl commercial where he's
Yeah.
like Matthew McConaughey.
Ooh.
Yeah, me, McConaughey, and Saquon doing the Cure.
I do. I get excited though because every once in a while when your Blinds commercial pops
like
up
that?
on my YouTube, I get to go to my daughter. I go, Daddy knows that guy. She's like, you know the guy that invented Blinds. She's 4. Like she doesn't.
It's
Well,
flooring.
it
First of all,
came
it's
up. I
flooring.
pointed. My daughter just says "Daddy," so it's very
Daddy, real Daddy's on
Flooring.
TV.
It's Avalon flooring. It's flooring. It's not blinds. It's
Flooring, blinds.
And
I bet you they do
like
blinds.
re-algorithm because people are sending it to me way too much again.
Yeah, well, you got a lot of friends and a lot of followers that are homeowners, dude. It's hitting the algorithm.
They're all
That's
like,
good.
Can you
You
get
lot
want
of
them to
people-
got that ticket money.
Yeah, and it's tax season too. People are getting that like I can make my house a little bit better money is coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like we can do part of the living room. This is gonna be
tile.
good.
He's,
What's
he's
up
filling
with
Port
that?
Carbon. He was just in Port Carbon
Yeah, I was
last
in Port
night.
Carbon.
That place has been selling out every month.
I'm a big deal in Port Carbon, kind of.
Give this guy the key to the city. They don't lock their doors up there. What are you worried?
What if I got this? What if I had a ribbon cutting in Port Carbon?
Yeah, you just take over the
Just like an
any
Elon
town
Musk of Port Carbon.
that had once been a thriving coal town.
Is
You
now
just
my-
now you're the blackest thing there.
Yeah.
Since coal.
I love that you become a tyrant. Like once that black son of a
Grand
bitch got to be a
Marshal.
mayor.
Oh, that's King Al. He owns here to Pittsburgh.
There you go.
We're just talking about Roadhouse.
That's it.
Flooring stores start popping up
Some
everywhere.
wood look tiles for
It's all
days.
flooring stores. Oh,
All right, well, here we are. That was a great intro, man.
Acting.
Montague brings it.
Well, and he's grown because last time you only had one child.
I had one kid last time I was here, yeah.
And now you're like reproducing like crazy?
Had a second, and we're done. I am.
No mas?
Are you like medically done, or you think you can control yourself?
Physically,
to being done?
mentally, spiritually, I'm done.
No, what I'm asking.
I love my kids so goddamn much that I'm like, I can't possibly make a third.
What I'm asking is, did you get snipped, or you're just
No, I'm in the
great
pre-snip phase right now. So
That's where I am.
I'm just talking about my testicles with a lot of random people right now.
Yeah, that's how it goes. That's what you're doing.
It's basically every birthday party we're at every week. We were at a 40-year-old birthday party yesterday. We're going to a 4-year-old birthday party today. At some point, my wife will bring up to somebody else comfortably that I'm getting snipped.
Okay.
And then I have to get called from across the backyard over and be like, hey, what's up? And she's like, tell them what you're doing.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm ending my lineage. This is.
So you have an appointment made.
No, I don't. I've talked about
You're
it.
thinking about it.
It's one of those things where like you've talked about it in comedy enough. Like I've talked about it on stage enough that I forget that I haven't actually done the thing yet.
Right.
It's like when you, or like the reverse of when you're like, oh yeah, so my girlfriend, but you've been married to that woman for 9 years now. You're like, I should probably update this joke.
How do you think people have to? Do you think people just go with a loaded weapon and then just How many people actually get snipped? I want to know.
Oh, it's
Like go through with it.
I'll tell you what, from having the conversations, I've been doing the research at these backyard parties. I think
the Nielsen ratings.
I'm starting to think that this might just be a new psyop. I think the doctors of the suburbs that snip the dudes are just cleaning up, spreading like they're going to like local kids party scene and being like, yeah, you get snipped recently, best decision I ever made.
and
like
then
every guy is like,
then
they're like, dude, it's like 2-3 days of being uncomfortable, and then you don't have kids forever. You're like, oh, okay.
I think the discomfort scares people a little bit.
That's
Yeah.
what's scaring me.
Yeah, it scares you a little
Yeah.
bit.
Well,
I mean,
you're
it
awake
can.
for it too. I know that.
Yeah, someone told me you feel like a.
Fun fact,
feel
I
like
used
acting.
to sell medical devices, and I used to sell the device that cauterizes, that the wood burner basically, that like cauterizes the vein, the vas deferens, I believe it is.
Look at this
Look
guy.
at this, look at it. Guys,
I went
you
to
didn't think you were
Catholic
going to
school.
tune into
Yeah,
that.
I didn't. Yeah, I went to. I don't think Father Rafferty knew much more than us.
You guys just prayed it away. You're like, if I pray hard enough, I'll never have kids again. But yeah, I used to sell, and you're awake for it, so you literally smell them.
You smell the burning?
soldering you, yeah.
It's just like that. It's like a little pen that gets really, really hot.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. And then they.
It's a
So I thought they
bovie,
cut
it's
it.
called.
I thought they cut it.
That's the umbilical cord when you have a baby.
Oh my god!
Tons of stuff
That's
you're
what you
learning
But they
did.
do
today.
say
That's what you
snip,
did.
snip, because it was like the Michael Scott was like snip, snip, and then I went back and got unsnipped. And,
Snip, snap, snip, snip.
yeah, snip, snip. But like, yeah, no, I don't want to know. Now it's worse. Now you've made it worse, and I don't know that.
Well,
I can
now
do it.
I'm finding out too, though, you can like get snipped and still.
even work.
It's like that every medical thing where they're like, we cured it, dude, but there's a 0.00001% chance it just didn't work and you have another kid. So like we've run into that
I've
too.
seen
Like
that happen.
people being like, oh yeah, we had the first two, and you're like, why is there a big age gap on that third one?
it's
You're like,
yeah.
oh,
Modern
because
medicine.
we thought we were good.
Yep.
So I'm scared.
You're like, Dr. Mirabile in Kensington is not as strong as we thought.
So I think I just gotta go the Catholic guilt way and pray it away.
Pray it
All
away.
right,
Everything's
See
a
how
sin
that works
now.
out for you.
In Jay's head, I feel like now it's like it's Braveheart, and it's like the end of Braveheart. We built it up so much. I think he's gonna be like, ah!
Freedom,
It is. You do scream freedom. I heard when you come out of it.
Yeah, I'm gonna feel. Yeah, it'll feel more like this.
I don't have to buy diapers ever again. That's
Be
what
like
you're
Tim Robbins
screaming.
at Shawshank at
Yeah.
the end, just crawling through
He
baby
crawled
poop.
through.
I will never crawl through baby poop
Yeah,
again.
that's a good
I'm in the thick of that now. We were out of the woods because my oldest is 4, and then now having a 5-month-old, we're back into the poop game.
Oh,
And I forgot, man. I think it's like if you had to go to like. You fought in Iraq and then you came back for a while and then they're like, yeah, we're sending you to the Ukraine. You're like, I forgot how terrible this shit can be.
Right.
Like,
How's the 4-year-old doing with?
she's doing great. She loves being. So it's 2 girls. So she loves being like a big sister,
we all
little
got- we all
sister.
got 2 girls. Look at
Dude,
that.
my house is nothing but feminine power
Same.
and beauty now. It's why I'm growing my hair long. I'm
like just joining the forces.
the biggest feminist you
Yeah.
guys have ever had on this
Yeah,
podcast.
I'd be sitting down. It's
We have a
easy.
girl cat too. We have a
Oh,
boy
do you
cat,
really?
but he hates me. So it's,
We have
Oh,
a
my
girl
goodness.
dog. We just got a dog.
I have
Yeah.
2 girl dogs. I'm surrounded by
I
women.
need to get like a lizard or something.
Yeah, you got to get like
Something
a
Just me and a gecko.
Yeah, I mean, full creep it if you get a snake.
My house
right?
isn't
Snake's
even
like
big
the
enough.
creepiest one you get.
Oh yeah, no, I can
Nice
never go
ball
snake.
python, just sitting there with a snake crawling from shoulder to shoulder
Oh my
while
god.
they're up there.
No,
John's finding exotic animals that are only males. Just trying to, like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, nah, snake, that's too sexy. I gotta go. I need something with arms.
So did you want to have another kid? Or
Yeah,
did you,
yeah, there
did
was
you-
a-
okay.
it's so
It was
funny,
always
like-
in the cars to have two.
Yeah, it was always like our plan. We knew like 3 would mean we'd have to either like build an addition on our house or force 2 kids to grow up way closer together. So you're like, all right, do we want to ruin? I mean, you guys are gonna have fun, but you're gonna have CTE from like bunk
beating the
bed
shit out of each
trauma.
other. Yeah, jumping
So
off the
yeah,
top bunk.
to say yeah, our plan was always 2. So like, it's nice. It's nice to now be in that like out of like the waves. You're like, all right, everything's settled. The baby's starting to sleep again now. Like.
They know
We'll,
the difference.
we'll wake up in the
between night
morning and we're
day.
like, oh my God,
We slept.
We slept. Like
This is
you
fucking
forget
awesome.
about the glory of that feeling.
So is it like right now? Is it pure mayhem in your place?
It is because that like moment of like, oh my God, we slept is now briskly interrupted by a 4-year-old opening the door going like, Bluey, and we're
Yeah,
like,
Bluey,
let's go.
pancakes.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm pre-making a lot of pancakes late at night when I can't sleep. I'm like, I gotta make cakes for
Did you
tomorrow.
do that thing? I don't know. Did you guys ever? I know people who like want to have kids and they like have to pay attention to ovulation and all that stuff. Did you do all that, or did you just start firing away?
Brother, there's so much Irish blood running through my body that it was like, I don't even think my wife and I were even in the same town when we conceived. Like
he shoots, he scores.
Yeah.
He thinks he shoots, he
I
scores.
don't even know what nationalities my wife is, but like she's taller and like is probably Nordic, so there's probably some
White, she's
Viking in
white,
there.
yeah.
I think there's a lot of Viking blood in there that survived like the harshest winters. Yeah, it's and that's what it does suck. Like when I'll talk to friends that are like they have to like time everything out.
Yeah. And
You're like that kind of takes the excitement out of it. Like it's supposed to be fun.
I think women do it
leading
more
up.
than guys know. I think
Probably.
probably what
Probably
happens,
correct.
the woman's
They all
got an
have an
app
app.
on her phone.
Yeah.
She
We all
knows
have
the
that.
deal.
We all
and
have the
then
same
she
app,
turns
too.
it on
Yeah.
when she knows. I think that's probably
and then she
what
starts nudging you a little
happens.
more. Yeah.
See, that's
yeah,
what guys need to. We need to evolve, and we need to learn to take advantage of that app to like plan
Get
out
things.
our time. We're like, dude, I got 2 weeks before my wife's gonna be so mean
Fishing
to me.
trip.
Yeah, it's like, all right, well, I can piss her off this week,
yeah.
and it doesn't carry over into the week where she's gonna hate my guts anyway.
So
No,
no rollover
that is
rate.
you're on to something. There.
Damn, I gotta start. Yeah, I gotta start tracking
Like
the
you,
moon.
you just get an app that tracks it.
Gotta get some crystals.
Yeah, John, why'd you get a telescope? Don't worry about it. Do you guys know if it's high tide, by the way? I need to.
Is Mercury in retrograde?
Yeah, have you ever been a crystal person? I feel like you could.
No, I give off crystal energy.
It's
is that-
well, I mean, they pull hot people in very easily. Tell you what, man, the internet is chock full of hot people telling me how good crystals are, and I'm starting to think crystals are pretty fucking cool because there's a lot of girls named Sage that are telling me about how it
I've never
saved their
been a
life.
crystal guy. I've never been a crystal guy. I think you're
Until-
a hot dude. You're throwing around a lot of hot guy towards me. You're a hot dude.
No, I'm Old Navy ad attractive. You're Gucci. You know what I mean?
That's
I could
funny. That's-
I could sell some Goodfellow at Target. I got no qualms about that. But you're like, I mean, you're literally.
I'm selling flooring, bro.
Yeah, but
I'm
man,
selling
John and
flooring.
I are Macy's guys.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a flooring guy. Everybody
Yeah,
knows
but dude,
the Avalon
flooring
guy.
might be the sexiest part of the house. I mean,
Good pergola. Yeah.
yeah, that grain.
Everyone
oh.
watching that flooring ad, it's like, I want to fuck that guy. on the floor.
I don't even know if there's another person in the ad. I think it's just Al.
You know, I look at the comments to see if anyone comments on how cool the fucking sales guy is. No.
Oh,
one
can
does.
we do a live read of the comments on that?
Then why is the sales guy so sexual?
Why is he gyrating his pelvis?
I like to think though, like you go to your house and you have the shittiest flooring. It's
shitty
like
flooring,
it's like
right.
when a landscaper has the worst lawn. You're like,
They gave him the demo stuff. It's all
It's all
mismatched.
mixed match. It's going the wrong direction. Shit.
It's like they got the car with the
so yeah, because you're the guy that would be in the Home Depot commercial using the circular saw to put the flooring down. But that's not you in real life. Like I know that dude. I'm friends with that guy.
I know the hands of that guy.
Yeah,
I
but
got
you
two
look good in an
pretty
orange
hands.
vest.
Right, exactly. That's my thing. All right, well, let's talk about something that has to do with parenting. We're just talking
Man,
about
we already did.
we were.
how
We
hot
touched
you
all the
are,
subjects.
the flooring.
I like you mentioned that you pre-make pancakes. What are your roles like in the house for like between your wife and you? What are some things that you take on naturally
Oh,
that you're
I'm-
like, I love doing?
I love doing that. Was a caveat at the end there.
Yeah.
There's
You don't
so many
mind.
things I love a task. Like I do like a task that is like, all right, I have to if I want to go to bed and sleep an extra 15 minutes tomorrow morning, then these PB&Js got to get made tonight.
Yes.
Okay.
When they got to be with sun butter because some kid has a peanut allergy in my daughter's school.
Shit.
I also they won't tell us who, and now I keep trying to
they
like
keep it
at school
anonymous.
drop off. I'm just like keeping like Snickers like in my pocket. And I'm like
Reese's?
just holding it near them and seeing if they slow down a little bit.
Like a stick looking for water.
Yeah, I got my eye on Tommy. I think.
He's wheezing.
But like, so it is that now. Like, I have to find like when I can take advantage of that. Like, all right, everyone is asleep. That's my favorite time in my house now, where it's like everyone's asleep. I can go in the kitchen and put on music I've listened to way too many times. It doesn't have to be the Wicked soundtrack for 10 minutes, which does fucking slap. I love it so much.
Limitless.
It's always on in the car after I drop my daughter off, and I'm still singing it,
still on.
pulling
You're, like,
into my
digging it.
driveway. But that like time, at the end of the day, like I like doing that because I like having that like, oh, I got to set everything up and I see the finished result. But then there's other mornings where it's just me going like, all right, what is not gone bad in this fridge yet? Because my wife's a teacher, so she has to go in early. So I'm like full morning duty. And it's like I got it down to a pretty cool system that is like 100% for me. I try to act like it's like I'm teaching life lessons, but it's like, dude, I need this or else my kid's going to school like
Hungry.
no shirt on. Like
That, yeah.
yeah, she just has like empty like soda cans in her book bag. I'm like, I don't
Got,
know.
like, a
I
bag with
panicked.
a stick with a fucking bag on the end
That's
of it.
been my role this year too, because my wife's same. She's a teacher, and I don't teach till I'm only teaching part time, so I don't go into the afternoons. So I'm on kid duty, but they're both school age. I've got it down to a science where I can wake up at 7:30, and they have to be out on the bus by 8:30, waiting for the bus.
Yeah.
1 hour. And it is mayhem, but it's like I like it because it wakes me up.
Right.
It's like wake up first thing. I know I'm throwing the breakfast in.
And you do it like almost like muscle memory.
Yeah,
By
now
the
it's
time
just
you're
that
done,
next
you're
thing
like,
I'm picking out the
oh,
clothes.
I can think now.
Yep.
Okay.
And it just moves. Making the coffee while I'm washing the dishes from last night. Like everything just flows. And then I keep my phone on the 9-minute like snooze. And I just yell at them every 9 minutes.
You just you told us about this.
Yeah,
This is
it's
a
a new
genius
yell
idea.
every 9 minutes. The buzzer goes off. All right, you should be done eating. Get dressed. The
Wow.
buzzer goes
Nice.
off. Teeth and hair. Teeth and hair.
Transitions.
Don't
I
forget
like
deodorant.
those
We're
transitions.
shopping new stuff.
I'm just like a foreman
Daddy
on
walked
a
in the
construction
Wawa.
site. Yeah, I'm total foreman on the construction site, just yelling up to the guys.
Hey
probably
guys,
like-
what's
they
the
probably
deal
like
with
it.
shoelaces? Am I right? You're just like crowd working them awake.
She's like, nah.
And then Alicia's got her routine, so I have to build in the things to know she always waits last minute to put her earrings in, and she needs to go upstairs and
Yeah.
get a book. And then I make the mistake of getting frustrated when like
Yeah.
things don't go well, because like working in a kitchen, like everything's got to go smooth.
Yeah,
Yes, chef.
because those are the unspoken details that make like a
That add
parent
time.
like
Yeah.
another level parent. Like me knowing as we go out the door that like if she doesn't have this bracelet that she's going to get to show to her friend outside, that means she's going to freak out.
Yeah.
She's probably going to run, trip, fall, get hurt, and then I'm giving a bruised and bloodied kid over to the school. And then I got to
Yeah.
go about my day. So it's like those last minute things where you're
Yeah.
like, I got to get this.
Or yeah, like
the hair tie. The hair tie's a big
Oh,
one.
yeah. On
I
the
always
hair
have
tie?
to put some on the hairbrush. Like I just wrap a bunch on the
Yeah.
hairbrush, and we have them on random doorknobs in our house. So
Okay.
I can always find one.
Yeah, it's a girl household thing.
That's
They
it, yeah.
they start to appear on everything. I
Yeah, I
realized.
see
I
them
mean,
everywhere.
I get it though.
I'm always, but what scares me is I don't want to be a ponytail guy. I've never been, but I'm
terrible.
I've
All I
been a
can do is a
long
low
hair guy
ponytail.
for a couple years now. And now doing like ponytails for my daughter, I'm like, every once in a while, I'm like, do I have the solution to all my problems? Because my solution's always a hat. And it's like, I can't be a man bun guy. So it's been very dangerous because there's been times like I'll do it to like get a laugh out of my wife. Like
Yeah.
she'll come home and I'm doing dishes with a tiny little ponytail. But it's like
But
every
now
once in a while,
everyone's
I'm
starting
like,
to like it a little
I'm like,
bit.
I can mow the lawn like this. And then before you know it, I'm braiding my own fucking long
Oh,
ponytail.
you're putting the colors in there and shit.
Yeah, you've got a Celtic braid.
Oh, yeah.
Irish heritage.
Yeah, I don't have the complexion for a braid.
No.
It's
Do you use your hair? Can you put it up in anything if you wanted to?
yeah, I could get in the douchiest haircuts. It's like every yoga
got some
instructor
flow.
that's ever been in a Lululemon ad with Al.
I feel like with
Damn.
the,
You guys
with
could be
the
like
sports-
Peloton guys. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that would be.
Were you a Peloton guy?
No, but you know what, Monte, you met my wife in CrossFit, didn't you?
Yeah, I knew your wife before I ever knew you. She
Yeah.
taught me how to do a muscle up. I don't know
Yeah.
if you guys are familiar with the movement.
So if you need,
Is that when you go?
Yeah,
Is
no,
know if
that's
you
a
guys-
very that's a very douchey state. If you're
Yeah.
familiar with the movement,
that when you go up
that's-
to your waist on the bar? or
Yeah.
Yeah,
whatever?
we were doing it on the rings, which makes it even douchier because they added gymnastics into it. I
you
went
gotta
through a hard
stabilize.
CrossFit phase, and it was like,
Were
yeah.
you man bunning in CrossFit? 'Cause
No, I
that-
didn't have long hair then.
Oh, okay.
That was that was when I had respect for my hair and appearance.
Like the third time I met you, you were like, "Hey, just so you know, I think she was my girlfriend."
It's
at
a
the time.
weird sentence to say to somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
yeah.
love of your life taught me how to get up on gymnastics rings. It's
I was like, "Okay, what's
like,
up,
all right,
man? Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, so there
Anyway,
you
what
go.
was your name again?
Yeah, exactly. Liked your stuff up there.
Yeah. I will always, if there's an awkward thing I know about somebody in the room, if I get to meet them, it's gonna come out.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
you're
Where
that
it's
guy.
like,
Yeah, you're that guy.
if there's just like a thing where it's like, oh yeah, I went to high school with your cousin, like that is always gonna come out. And that was the only thing I had
That's
for
it.
you.
So you just went to muscle.
I'm like a Terminator scanning the room of like, what do I
know?
what 6 degrees of separation do I know about this person? It's it's a thing my dad always did and I hated, and I do it so hard.
Oh,
Where like if you're traveling and someone's like, no way, you're from New Jersey. Oh my God, Lumberton. And you're like, the mayor just got arrested for a DUI with a kid in the car. Like,
Oh, that's
I get
right,
too.
right.
Have you guys seen the footage of that? I watched the body
she's
cam.
like falling off the
Dude, the
car.
body cam
Yeah.
footage is incredible because
No.
it's in this like amazing like suburban neighborhood,
Yeah.
and this lady's life is just falling apart in front of her, but she's still kind of a happy St. Patty's Day drunk. So it's I don't know if you guys do watch-alongs, but it would be a good one. This is a
Be a good time to
parenting.
start.
This is a parenting faux pas. The kid was in the car.
Kid was
Yeah,
in
the
the
kid was in
car.
the car.
And you know what? It's like she just wanted St. Patty's Day was on a Monday. And she was
Yep.
like, dude, I'm the mayor of this fucking town.
gonna go
I can
out.
have a
I'm
few
gonna go out
pops.
and make
And I
a
can-
few pops.
and cart my kid to school, decked out in green. She's like, no one will be none the wiser. And apparently she sideswiped like 6 cars.
Oh, that's what she said. What?
Oh, it's sad. It's very sad, but it's very hilarious too. There she is. Yeah, and,
okay, we're-
and the field sobriety test is in front of her house
Oh,
because she went all the way home. So,
And they followed her home.
dude, no neighbors came out. Like this looks exactly like my cousin's neighborhood in Jersey.
So I'm gonna prep this. Give me a sec, guys. So go about it.
It's the most South Jersey looking neighborhood. Like
very
it's
South
like
Jersey.
it's
It
nice.
looks nice. Everyone's got a nice.
I mean, the mayor
yard.
lives there.
Some gentle.
That's the White
parenting.
House of that town.
Yeah,
and
ex-mayor
it's
lives
white.
there.
I think that's pretty funny.
That's crazy.
She'll be in Trump's cabinet next week. Director of Transportation.
Yeah.
Yeah, some crazy shit.
I
like
let a
that.
guy into traffic the other day, and then I like ended up next to him at a red light, and I look over, and this guy's smoking a Marlboro Red
Nice.
with 2 kids
In the car.
seats in the back.
Windows all up.
Oh yeah, I'm like, dude, I'm
Oh
like,
God,
this-
you're better off smoking
I
crack.
was
I
like,
think.
those kids are gonna learn. Life is hard, and
Yeah.
so is breathing.
Outside of Philly,
Holy
never. You
shit.
saw that?
Wait,
Oh my god!
Did anybody have somebody who kept the ash? My dad ashed in the car. He would not ash out the window. He
you
would
were
ash
all
in the
over.
truck.
That's why your
That's
voice
who
sounds
he
like
is.
that.
That's why
That's
my
why
voice
you
Knowing
was.
your origin
Yeah.
story more and more.
Jesus.
It's
Yeah,
Because me and Neil did a show last night. He was talking about it. Your voice sounds like because you're dead.
it sounds like you've been eating cigarette ash since you were born.
It might
No,
be.
my dad was a secret smoker. I found out. We didn't find out
yeah?
till later on. We were also just dumb. You could smell it. Like it would be. He would smoke in his. He had a like their bathroom in my parents' room was like a separate small like half bath.
Okay.
And so he would smoke in there and blow it out the window, but it would come through the vents on like a Saturday morning. I'd be laying in bed and I'd be like, Saturday morning spring air. It smells a little bit like a parliament. Like,
that's great.
and like my cousin caught him once when we were all away at college. My cousin was like on a run and he ran past my parents' house and he
was
said he was
cranking a
about to
smoke?
go like, hey, Uncle John. My dad was John also. And like as he went to go like that, my dad was just like just let one out. And he's like,
Blowing O's.
it like blew his mind. We were like, oh my God. But like he hid it for a long time.
I was a hiding smoker. For
Were you
a long
really?
time,
It's
yeah.
kind of fun, man. That's fun to have like a little secret.
Oh, I definitely did. All right, you want to see this DUI real quick? Producer and friend Neil Wood here. Brief commercial break. Hey, how you doing? This is Neil Wood, one of the co-owners of Drop 10 Media Network and who helps run Biggest Little Comedy. You can check out all the other stuff we do at drop10.com. We've got podcasts, live comedy shows, and so much more. Go over there, support your favorite podcast, follow them, subscribe. We appreciate it. Again, we're 100% DIY, just a bunch of creatives trying to make it in this. Give us some feedback. We always enjoy a little feedback. Thanks. Let's
Let's just say something fun about secrets. I wanted to talk about secrets.
Oh yeah, you're right. So you painted this thing perfectly.
Is there audio?
Yeah, there's audio, but you guys aren't going to be able to.
Yeah, we're gonna talk over this.
Can you narrate it to us? What you're saying?
So he's and for everybody at home who's just listening on audio, the cops she's not moving. She's actually parked at the house. There's 2 officers. They see the kid in the car.
Right here, she is like, I will say, she's doing that moment where you're like, I fucked up in front of my kid. I got to get my kid away from me as quick as possible. Yeah. So she like right here is like, get inside, and like shoves the kid almost.
Your fucking ass inside.
Get inside. But also falls into the car.
She almost fell over.
Now look at the side mirror. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the BMW. That's not what side mirrors on BMWs normally look like.
No.
They don't usually
the wires aren't exposed.
Yeah, they usually don't have the paint from a Ford Explorer on them that you saw. But like, they had to follow the kid in. So like, it's so sad that this just. Can you get your own body cam footage? Like, if I ever get arrested or pulled over,
you got to be able to do a right to know,
right?
Yeah,
the whole.
That's gonna be my special. I'm gonna put out a 15-minute DUI special.
The whole world gets the body cam footage. I mean, we're looking at it.
I know, right?
And like
you
now
you got to be famous enough. Imagine if you commit a crime and you're not even famous enough.
We deleted that shit, you loser.
Local kind of comedian.
No one likes you. You got like 2,000 followers on Instagram. We're not posting this shit.
And then they get her in the street. They make her do the test, and she's failing so much. But like, is keeping it together because she's still like, I think, in that confident stage of being hammered, where she's like, you might pull out of this. Like at any moment, you might do something so cool that they're like, you know what, get on out of here.
And now the cop's like, fuck, I got to arrest the mayor, right? You can see the cop being like, I'm going to have to arrest
10 years
the mayor.
ago, she'd be screaming at them like, I have your fucking job. And it's like, no, a mayor can't even get drunk in South Jersey anymore.
Everybody's Irish on St. Patrick's
What do you
Day.
even be mayor for anymore? It's like, why be mayor if you can't be a little bit drunk in your
small town mayors? That's what you get to do.
Shout out to Rock Hall, Maryland, a place where I drove drunk with the mayor of Rock Hall.
Did you really?
Did not know he was the mayor. Like we get in there, I'm like, they're like, yeah, we're gonna go down to the bar. I'm like, we've been drinking a lot, and we're like just 21, and my buddy's mom was, I guess, seeing him, the mayor, for a bit, and then I get in there, I was like, yeah, who is this guy? To my buddy, and he's like, oh, that's fine, that's the mayor. I'm like, let's go, let's get in the car. Yeah, sure.
Damn, having the mayor as your stepdad is a pretty sweet move.
It's pretty dope.
It's not gonna last forever, but you're gonna have a good run of doing whatever you want in that town.
Around that long.
You're just gonna show up with parking tickets every day. You're like, hey, Mike, I don't know if you want to take my mom out tonight, but I'm gonna need you to take care of this for me.
This is a pretty solid parenting fail. I feel like I don't know if I've seen a worse one in a little bit.
Fail?
And this is
definitely a parenting fail. Obviously, yeah.
It's weird too because you see these all the time, but then you don't see them like in the county next to where you live. So you're like, oh no, they're getting closer to hitting me. And you're like, I'm gonna get a DUI. I don't even drink, and I'm like scared of a DUI.
I mean, not good. Yeah, not good. I mean,
no,
really, really, really bad.
Well, and what stinks too is when they first put it out, they just put out like her mayor picture, and it was like a very nice picture of her,
like a realtor picture.
But it was one of those things like where people don't update their LinkedIn picture. Like I think she's been mayor for a while, and she was like 35 in the picture, and then now she's like in her mid 40s, I think.
Her mugshot's gonna look like Nick
Nolte. Yeah.
Like a Gary Busey kind of deal. I mean, parenting fail. That's a good one. What's your worst parenting fail? And is it on film? Is it filmed anywhere? Can we watch it?
If you actually watch the end of that footage,
you'll see me running down the street.
Up and I'm like, hey, you ordered Grubhub?
Yeah. You're from GoPuff with a 30-pack.
Yeah.
With your kid in the car?
I was thinking about it recently. I had like, it wasn't a detriment to the family parenting fail, but like my mom was supposed to like take both of my daughters like on a Monday. So that Friday, I was supposed to have gotten like the car seats back from her. And long story short, Friday morning last week, I'm supposed to take my daughter to school with a 5-month-old in a carrier in my car in the pouring rain.
No car.
I get to my car and I go, there's no car seats in my car. And it's like, and luckily I live in a very walkable town. So like a lot of people walk to school anyway. So everyone that usually walks to school is driving past me with a 5-month-old in a stroller, torrential downpour. And my daughter's loving it. She's splashing in puddles, the older one. Yeah. And I'm just going like, keep it together. Like, you got this. And it was one of those moments where I was like, man, it is like all perspective of like, if you don't let your kids see that you screwed up, she had no clue. Like my daughter was just like, we get to walk in the rain to school. And I was just, meanwhile, I'm like one tear shedding, hoping the rain hides it. And I'm like, Daddy's a failure. Because it's like having to live if you fail as a parent to where it's like your kid now it affects your kid.
You wouldn't just buckle her in and take her
If I didn't have the 5-month-old,
you didn't that
maybe I would drive my daughter.
That seat wasn't able to be buckled in.
Both. It was. I had a base. That one was so. But then I would have had to control a 4-year-old while it was just a. Actually, no, I didn't have the base. That was
I'll
the
answer
problem.
your question.
I gave the base to my mom.
I wouldn't do it just because of perception.
So my buddy was like, I would have called my kid out of school. And I was like, yeah, but then it's me all day with 2 kids. And it's like,
yeah, you get
all
it.
right, do I want to be like, all right, I can work because I work from home. So it's like I can work and have a 5-month-old because it's like I can blast through work while she sleeps.
Yeah.
But it's like if I have a 5-year-old there too. So this was all for me to be able to be able to actually function throughout the day. But yeah, the whole time I'm making songs out of it. I'm and sometimes daddy mess up. Oops.
That's not even,
but you fixed it. But you solved the problem though,
Yeah.
But it made me realize how much it sucks when kids have to live in the failure of their parents at any scale. I kind of benefited oddly from it. So my dad failed very big late in life. He went to jail for it.
Okay.
It was basically wire fraud, tax fraud. He was an investing guy. But it didn't happen until I was 25. So it didn't fully affect my life. You know what I mean? There was aspects emotionally and everything, but it was I was fine financially and everything. But it's if that happened when I was 15
and you were
10 years earlier,
in school,
it would have been
like,
insane.
Montag?
So it's it made me think of the little thing of walking my daughter in the rain, of course, led me back to being well, your dad got arrested when you were 25. I was like, I got no street cred from it, though. That's the sad part.
Yeah.
I have that as a parent. I have that as a parent because I have...
Because you're going to jail?
Yeah,
Wait, what?
I'm on my way. Well, no, I just have an ADHD, right? I'm just very hard for me to focus. And I'll forget this, I'll forget that. For some reason, when it comes to them, I'm able to be very organized.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be the
it's
guy.
One task. You're very task oriented.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to be the guy. I don't want to be I didn't get to go on the field trip today, Dad, because you didn't sign you didn't give me my whatever. You know,
my daughters had to lie on a lot of plastic cots because I forgot to bring her sleeping bag to school. And it's even that you're just I'm causing the slightest discomfort for my kid.
Yeah. I'm setting
up.
But
then also I'm you know what? She could stand sleep on it. Your dad's had to sleep in some hardwood floors.
That's right.
At the store when Uncle Al was selling the floors.
I like Uncle Al. I like that.
Uncle Al.
I am an uncle. If you meet your kids and they call me Uncle Al, I would be absolutely floored.
We did mess up and start calling too many of our friends aunt and uncle, and now my kid has no clue what aunts and uncles and cousins are, dude.
Uncles are people who come to your house, get really, really drunk, and
but
say
it's
dumb
funny
shit.
though, because she has uncles that
that's not what it is.
Oh yeah, she has uncles. My uncles, she has some that she's never met and she never will, but she's seen my best friend Rob hundreds of times, so it's he might as well be the uncle.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
I had an Uncle Smitty growing up that was just a friend,
Great
a work
uncle
friend
name.
Oh, isn't it?
Uncle Smitty?
Yeah, that is good. It sounds like
his
he drank
last
a lot.
name was Smith. Irv
Did he drink
Smith.
a lot? Did he drink a lot?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Smitty is a drink a lot name.
Well, he worked for the Liquor Control Board.
Of course you do. You don't have a name like Smitty and not work for the Liquor
He was
Control Board.
managing the stores in Schwenksville.
Hey,
are you talking Smitty from Schwenksville?
Yeah, Smitty from Schwenksville.
Hey, Smitty's in the house.
So,
Get this guy whiskey. Huh?
He
Talking about Smitty from Swinksville?
Dude, he retired, built a house up in north of Williamsport, Tioga County.
Holy
built
shit.
a house across from a nature reserve, and his whole basement was all of the memorabilia he collected from a full 30 years of working for the Liquor Control Board. Full bar.
Shit he confiscated.
I love how you use the term memorabilia for fucking contraband that you fucking confiscated illegally.
This
He
was
had a
all
jug of that wine that's got a snake in it.
We're talking Wild Turkey. The guy from Wild Turkey would show up, and there'd be a giant stand-up of Wild Turkey.
Oh,
or
nice.
they would have glasses that if you bought a bottle, that you got glasses that.
Okay.
So it was that.
I think
kind of
your Uncle
stuff.
Smitty was mobbed up and he was just getting stuff
Yeah,
off the
right,
back of the
hard
liquor
as
truck.
shit, yeah.
He was his issue is he never got married, and he hyper focused on
You can't lock
politics.
down Schmitty.
Wait, sorry, say that again.
Sorry.
What did he hyper focus on?
Politics.
Oh, okay.
So he got really into. You couldn't bring a non-union beer into his house, so everything
Jesus
had to be
Christ.
Miller Lite and Rolling Rock.
Damn, so now you're in the liquor store going, is it a union
Is it a
beer? I
fucking
don't
Teamster?
know.
I don't know.
Excuse me, sir. Where's your union beer aisle?
I know people that now have an app. I was talking to a woman I work with. And we were out for a happy hour on Friday, and she was looking up the liquors that vote Democrat or Republican.
Oh, shit.
And like,
Wow.
And then she was like, "Oh, apparently she ruined somebody's day because they found out that Grey Goose like votes 75% red."
Of course. But meanwhile, she was wearing Nike shoes that were made by a kid.
Yeah,
exactly right.
Broken.
With an
Exactly
iPhone,
right.
yeah.
She's like, "Whoa, Tito's this Kettle One's better." And I'm like,
Dude,
okay.
I think I quit drinking 2.5 years ago. I think I'm quitting caring about politics ever again.
I
Probably
know.
So
good-
that
probably
kind of
good.
situation
Exhausting.
never
Like,
has
how could
to.
you- Yeah, it's too
Alcohol needs a hard reset too. They're getting a little. There's too many things now.
It's so soft.
It's soft, but it's also it's.
Well, like
I
when
think
you started
they're
drinking.
losing. I think they're losing. Like the next generation aren't drinkers, and I
No,
think
that-
they're like, well, let's kill the current generation with as much booze and fun as we can, because the next generation doesn't drink. Like
What was the first thing you
teens
drank?
in college. Oh, I have a whole bit about it. It was gin and Mountain Dew. It was the first thing I ever drank together.
Because you didn't know any better.
Yeah,
And you
because
stole-
our
you found a
buddy,
bottle
our
of gin or
friend's
something.
dad, I shouldn't even say friend. So we were at our friend's house, and the slimy
Wait, let's
kid.
go around. Hold on. Gin and Mountain Dew. Albert, do you remember your first drink?
Peach schnapps.
Peach schnapps. Nice. You were probably just a beer dude, right?
So actually, the
Yeah, I
first
feel
time
like that's very
Jay?
stereotypical. What
my
you just did.
first drink of alcohol was a natty ice.
There it is.
Classic. Classic. Okay, cool. I apologize,
There
John. I
it
just
is.
wanted to get that on the record so we
All
had
right,
it.
well, peach schnapps over here. Sit this one out, Buttercup. Like,
It was like what we found. It was what we found.
I get
It
a
was just
fuzzy
like-
navel.
We once
No, but
found
that's what it was. It was what you found.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I should say, I think the first thing I ever drank was in my parents' basement, and it was probably like, let's swig Jack Daniels
Yeah.
and pretend like we know what we're doing. But like the first thing I drank and got drunk on, gin and Mountain Dew, we went to our friend's house. His parents were out to dinner. So we were like, all right, we have 2 hours to just drink as much alcohol as we can here. And then we'll figure out the next location in that time. We didn't even, I think cell phones just came out. I had a Nokia with Snake on it.
Oh,
yes,
nice.
So
Times were good.
we got ripped on gin and Mountain Dew because the kid 2 blocks over, who wasn't our friend, but like he was a slime ball and like could get booze from his dad, just took a jug of gin, and we had a bag of airplane bottles. We went to Bell Lake, right down the street. We just were ripping airplane bottles and chucking them in the woods, drinking gin and Dew. Ran from what wasn't even the cops.
Yep.
You heard one sound, and you were like, "They're undercover. They're all dressed as trees. Like, run!" We ran. We ran like to another friend's house. We hung out there until like his parents were about to come home. Then cut to me throwing up across the street from didn't know cop's house. He came home on his dinner break and pulled up, and I was just there puking in an empty lot across the street from his house. So that guy, dude, thinking back on that, he was like, I get to take a break from almost dying as a cop and go see my loving family at 9:30 on a Friday. And he comes home to me throwing up across the street from
I
his
know
house.
the mayor.
She's
gonna pick me
got
up,
us the
don't worry.
gin. So yeah, he took me in, booked me.
Oh, he took you
Dude,
in. Oh,
they brought me in, and they didn't handcuff me because I was a child. Like I was a freshman in high school, I think.
and white.
Yeah. And I was ripped on gin and Dew, covered in gin and Dew puke.
Oh, you must have smelled like shit.
Oh,
were you like,
and
were
dude,
you,
I was in my little league district all-star champions leather sleeve Letterman jacket.
that's just as bad as the mayor.
Dude,
That-
we were just romping around town. You couldn't tell us shit. We just won District 15. You
like
understand
fucking
that?
Johnny Moxon over here.
We just
out here
beat
getting
South
it.
Vineland. You ever think you beat South Vineland? Come on.
He's like sipping on gin and
covered
Dew.
in puke. But here's the beauty of it.
Gin and Dew.
It's like a great
Your
parody.
big wheel, your big
Yeah,
wheels
yeah,
bouncing
yeah,
down the
yeah.
streets.
So to my luck, I was a freshman in high school. The varsity baseball coach was also like the biggest detective in our town.
Oh,
And
man.
he was on duty that night.
Oh, my God.
So
Yeah.
of course they just fucked with me. Like they brought me in. The lady who was our D.A.R.E officer was there too. I felt so bad. I let our D.A.R.E officer down.
You let everybody
If
down.
McGruff shows up, this is gonna be a crazy party.
This guy already he brought me home. He brought me to the station and was like, "Can I go back and eat my fucking chicken parm at home now?" Like, book this kid. The D.A.R.E lady wanted me to go to juvie for the night. I was
Really?
like 13, ripped on
Damn.
gin, and she was like, "Send him in with the
Lock
troublemakers."
him up. Lock him up.
Meanwhile, like my coaches were there. One was there, and then my friend's dad.
Did you see this kid
So-
play shortstop?
Dude, I wish I was a catcher. If I was a shortstop, they never would have brought me down.
They would have brought
They
you.
would've
Catcher's
known.
like, he's replaceable.
They're
Fuck
like,
this
come
guy.
on,
He's not
this
going
kid's knees are
anywhere."
gonna blow out in 6 years anyway. So I can't remember if like they did it. I think they handcuffed me to a bench just to fuck with me.
Nice.
And it was to the point where like I got off on like all like no underage drinking or anything because they were like, well, you're alive and we're
Yeah.
your coach.
Yeah.
But they called my dad like directly, and he came down and picked me up. So they tape recorded everything that like my dad and they were talking, like asking me questions and like making me swear I'd never. I was like, I swear I'll never drink again, Dad. He's like, what about like your cousins? They drink at parties. They're not 21. So I was like, only if you let me. I'll drink then. I swear. And then they're like, I'm going to start praying more. I'm going to like all this shit. Dude, we never found that cassette tape. My dad has since passed and that'll appear someday. And
that'll be so great.
So as I was walking out, they're like, all right, Chief, get home. And they slapped one of the badge stickers that they give the little kids on my puke jacket. And it stayed on there because I didn't get it cleaned forever. Like it just went in the closet like that. And there was a puke stain. It said Monty because that was my nickname. You always had to get your cool nickname on the jacket, right? You weren't a District 15 champion. You don't know what it's like.
He doesn't know. He never tasted the glory. You don't know about
I was Yogi because I was a catcher too. So
okay.
Yogi Berra.
Yogi's big.
Yeah. So I met Yogi Berra once. It was incredible.
Really?
My dad also knows my
ears?
dad's story. He used to help run a golf tournament, and it was in memory of a kid in our town who died in 9/11. Sorry to bring the mood down. Anyway, fast forward a couple years, they would have New York celebrities there all the time, even though it was South Jersey. So they got Yogi Berra there. So my dad called me and I like rushed over on my lunch break at like whatever summer job I had. I think it was like 18, 19. And I met him and I was just going to college to get to play baseball. And I was like all excited. I was like, hey, how you doing? And my dad's like, Yogi, this is my son. He's also a catcher. And he looked me up and down. And he goes, can you hit left-handed? And I was like, no. And he goes, what good are you? And walked away.
Wow.
After he shook my hand, I was like, that's just a blessing.
Why wouldn't
you
lie though?
No,
Why wouldn't you lie?
No, but that is the best thing to ever. That's what I want from every celebrity I ever meet. I want them to shit on me a little bit and make me think, yeah, why would I ever think I could talk to Yogi Berra about being a catcher?
I mean, it is kind of weird. Like,
Meanwhile,
he was
on death's door. He was old.
I was gonna say he must have been old as could
yeah,
be. He didn't even know.
He had like a
bobblehead
handler.
of him. Yeah,
it was like, but it was just that line, and he gave like that as he walked off. But I was
he
like,
meant it.
Yeah, but
he meant it.
It wasn't Yogi
Yeah,
Berra.
but he
Like,
was
I'm
like,
gonna beat this old fucking asshole. Yeah, that was my Yogi. Sorry,
That's
go
all
off
good.
on a tangent. I got
It's all
excited.
good. You're probably a fun dad because you definitely got some. You got like an ADHD thing going on,
Dude, it's.
They're the
But what's
funnest
bad is my
parents.
wife also has like crippling ADHD, and we've
That's
just
fun for your
made
kids.
we have made an whatever you want to call it, the perfect child of ADHD, the next generation. Like this kid is not paying attention to us on levels people have never seen before.
Yeah,
Like,
but that's a fun house. That's probably a fun house.
But she
You guys
still
are
is
all singing
taking in
different
information.
songs and bouncing shit off of each
Oh,
other.
yeah, there's a
and
lot
like
of-
outfit changes and making weird games. Like that's
Oh, yeah.
all it's about. They're gonna have they're
it
gonna
is
have a
fun.
blast.
Just if you're not, you got to have fun with it too. That's why, like,
That's what it
you
is,
got to
yeah.
forget. You're like, yeah, my life's stressful as hell, but it's like I get to go play with Magnetiles after this.
Exactly.
Like, this,
Yeah,
all right,
Or, like,
things could be worse.
They get a
Like,
toy. You're like, I want to see it. You,
Oh.
you ever get into that?
They
thing
don't
where
get
you're
toys.
Like, you
I
wanna
get
see their
toys that
toy?
they happen to use. Like my daughter doesn't need remote control cars, but I'm constantly shopping for
Or
them.
they open the box and like, holy, and you're like, what? I want to let me see it. Bring it over here. Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Magnetiles? Oh, is that me?
Oh wow. yeah. Jeez.
I'm doing it again. You
Jeez,
can't
we've
trust
been
me.
better
It's all good. It wasn't
Magnetiles.
being picked up. You're all good.
That's a good dad move.
That is
Your
good.
phone was just on the whole
My
time.
phone, yeah, the whole
Entire
time.
time.
You've been on a
Dude,
call
that
with your
happens
mom.
it happens at school sometimes. Like I'll be walking in and I forgot to turn my volume off, and I'm walking into somebody else's room while I
With
have
your
stuff
phone
in,
making noise.
and my phone. I'm like, God, what could it be make? Like the
Has
things
it ever
could
been
be
you
making.
listening to like a set from the night before?
So it wasn't that, but it was like stuff like from Instagram. Like, oh my God! Like,
Oh,
thankfully
yeah.
it wasn't anything like bad. But
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah, I
oh,
could
could you
just-
imagine? Like,
Oh yeah.
that, you can't
That
come
getting
back from some
excited
of
in
that.
there, yeah.
I've had a kid playing this podcast on his Chromebook in class.
While you were
Yeah, does that come
oh.
up? Do you see that a lot? Like, do kids find your content a lot now?
yeah, I've gotten a lot of it now.
Yeah, Jimmy, we know you're playing. You're listening
Yeah,
to this.
yeah,
we can
shout out
see
to
you,
Frankie and
Jimmy.
Jimmy in third period.
I was like,
What's up,
who's
fellas?
playing that? He's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, no, just put it on mute. I need
No,
it.
but like,
He's like, who's playing that
Yeah.
bullshit podcast? I know, yeah.
Go home, like
I'll
it on
have
your
kids
parents.
come up and be like, is this you? You know, yeah.
Al, is that the like? Do you have to like talk your way out of that one?
No, now everybody knows now. It's not like a.
They're called fans, bro.
Yeah, right.
Dude.
That's a problem.
No.
We don't have that.
I know,
He's
I
got
just-
a building full of fans.
I
Like,
will
"This is
say,
yours,
I
this is
will
yours."
say they are pretty cool. I feel like if anything, it's probably humanized me more to them.
Okay.
You know, so if they've listened to anything, then they're kind of like, oh, okay, this guy's
Yeah.
That probably
We
makes
get
sense.
it.
Yeah, they know
You
your
know.
motivations.
Yeah,
a little
so
more.
Dude,
They know that you
I
really
couldn't
care.
imagine if I got to see my teachers outside of school in any capacity.
I know, right?
I remember seeing like one teacher. He was an usher at the Phillies game, and it blew our mind that we saw Mr.
somewhere
Ehrman
else.
outside of the middle school. Like we were like, you exist outside here, and then we also learned that teachers don't get paid enough. That he had to be also an usher at the Phillies game, and I'm like, oh, we're gonna be drunk here in like 6 years, and causing problems.
And
for
you're still gonna be here, Mr. Ehrman. That's
I was
he was
walking
an
the
asshole.
girls at like my daughters had like cheerleading at the stadium. We're walking around on a Friday night game, and they're like, "Oh, that's Mr. Yoder. He's on TikTok." Like you just hear the whispers as you like walk.
But the
by.
parents' picture, it's you dancing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's like me doing the Macarena.
Yeah, apparently.
Like, well, it's Spanish. Or one time I'm like, oh, I'm going to grade your test over the weekend. They're like, I don't know, Mr. Yoder. Looks like you have a pretty busy weekend.
Oh, nice.
Like, stay off my.
We checked. You're gonna be.
You're gonna be the Poconos, and you go to the Scranton. I don't think you're gonna have any papers, Mr. Yoder.
Yeah, they're pretty. For the most part, I haven't had anything. I was worried about it for the longest time. That's why like my name's not even Jay. So it's like I was like changing my name.
You do paint a picture of a school that's like pretty understanding of what you do.
Yeah,
You never
we
like,
don't
yeah,
we
they
don't
bust
talk
my
about
balls.
Bruno, but yeah, like and the superintendents come to some of my shows before.
Yeah.
Some of the school board members have.
Do you think that? Okay. Do you think they're coming as like a supporter, fan, or do you think they're coming to see what you're talking about and like juxtapose it?
The one
as
in
to your
particular
teaching
was
life?
the one in particular was a fundraiser show for the PTA that they asked me to be on.
so
So
they
like
had
I
to
sort
kind
of
of-
like was like
Yeah.
I should embrace this and bring it in. But I know I've seen people like my daughter's like cheerleading coaches came to like a show that they didn't know I was going to be on there.
Oh, it was a
Oh, wow.
surprise.
They were just coming to the
them.
show. And,
Okay.
and I've had that happen with like board teachers. Some of my students who are now teachers were there and they're like, oh, I think that was my
know
Spanish
that
teacher
guy,
on
yeah.
stage right now. like that. I've had them come up after, which is kind of
Has it been pretty positive?
Oh, it's all been
Okay,
positive.
that's good.
Yeah, it's all been positive.
That's
I
like
haven't
my
had
biggest
anything.
like I don't fear that like somebody in like the like middle of America nowhere will see something crazy. Like now I have fears that like at school drop off another parent and I started running you're doing it next month. I started running a show in my town that like there's been parents like from school drop off there. So
like,
now there's like a weird thing in the morning where they're like, remember when you said those bad words?
Remember you bombed a little bit. You bombed a little bit. not
That's
gonna
the other
lie.
thing I'm scared about too
You don't
now is
wanna
I have
bomb
to.
in front of
I'm
those
gonna have to do
motherfuckers.
so much new material if these people keep coming back to the
Yeah,
show
right,
too.
yeah.
So it's like, oh man, they're gonna see my worst stuff.
Well, like Jay, imagine you bombing. Like I don't think you bomb, but imagine you go there. Your former students are there. You're on this huge stage, and then you bomb, and they come up after you, and they're like, "Good stuff," and you're like,
Yeah.
"Fuck you." You
even
little
worse.
piece
Imagine
of
you do
shit.
great and you inspire them to get into comedy.
I've had like one or two that have tried open mics and like messaged me that they tried an open mic or there's one
Yeah.
that's going to Millersville and pops in at POV and all of that. So, but yeah, no, it's kind of interesting.
That's awesome. That's cool because then you get to see them. Like my sister has that. She teaches elementary school and has taught it for like 20 years. So now she has like she's had student teachers come back that were her students,
That's-
which
yeah,
she's like
I'm
it's
at that
insane
phase
now.
now,
But like
yeah.
she'll be out at a bar and she's like, oh yeah, and I have to operate with this person as like a peer now.
Right,
But like
yeah.
I used to play pin guard with him. She's a gym teacher. She's like, that's got to be such a weird.
Yeah, it is. It's
Yeah.
interesting. I have a guy that does some media stuff for me. That was a former student of mine. I had him for 4 years, and now he runs a studio in Westchester, and I've been doing some work with him.
Really?
So it's interesting to just see him now as a
Glad I was nice.
Yeah,
to that
yeah.
kid.
That also
He's
means
great.
you're a cool teacher and people like you.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
If that guy didn't like you, he wouldn't be helping you with
Yeah.
fucking
Sometimes I'll see
audiovisual stuff.
comments on some of the social media posts from like either the board teacher stuff or that. And they'd be like, "Oh, I had him as a Spanish
always a great
teacher," or
teacher.
I had, you know.
I can't wait till one day you're like, yeah, it turns out the kid that books the cellar, I taught him 12
him.
years ago.
That's right.
Guys,
for
I'm there every
Netflix.
night. It's
Yeah.
incredible.
But isn't your wife a teacher?
Yeah, she's a third grade teacher.
Do you guys ever ever purposely avoid where she like if you want to go out?
You
You're
drive
like,
around
and
her
you're like
town
let's
she
let's go
teaches in.
let's go to Cherry Hill
Yeah, it's
because I
weird
don't want
because
to
we're a couple
see
towns
someone.
over from where she teaches. So like we will be there, but like she's good about going to like if they have like those after school events where they encourage teachers. They kind of like they really like strong arm you guys. It's like, hey, if you want to take an extra day off, you have to go to 2 events, right?
Yeah, right.
Oh,
Or
they
if you
do
want to
that
leave
shit?
before, like right when
Yeah.
the buses get out, you have to chaperone a few dances.
So yeah, so she went to a skating party recently and stuff. So she has interacted, but it's also like we have friends and family that live in that town too. So like yeah, we are kind of there sometimes. She loves it, like, because she's a third grade teacher. So when they see their teacher out in
They
public,
think you're like a celebrity.
it's a celebrity, exactly. Like we went to a
totally.
softball game, and it was like my daughter was there. And she was like very little, and it was like you would have thought we brought the reincarnation of baby Jesus. Like the softball
Bleachers
game.
parted.
The girls were just like, I'm gonna hit so many home runs for that baby.
Yeah.
It's gonna be incredible.
They're
Like,
pointing to the kid. I'm like,
it was a huge deal, and it's like,
And
but
I always coached too, so like that I was always
Okay.
coaching a sport, and that helped because sometimes you'd have either the kids that would have been troublemakers are now sort of like your deputies, which becomes kind of cool.
Yeah.
you can weaponize them.
That's right.
I know his strengths.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, no, that's awesome, man. So are you still getting out and about with comedy now?
Yeah, still trying to keep it as busy as possible, as much as you can.
Yeah,
It's like I'm
well-
sure you guys talk about that all the time. It's like relearning how to navigate having a family and chasing a dream again. You're like,
yeah.
oh yeah, sometimes the dream isn't a dream for a month straight.
Yeah, right now I had that dream in a while.
And then you're like, oh my god, I have 7 dreams this month.
Yeah.
Like, this is incredible.
I mean, well, we always end up talking about that a little bit because, like, for me, it's like the opposite. I already had the family established before this was even a thought in my
Yeah,
head.
see, that's
So
like
for me, it's a reverse where now my wife's, we've had to deal with this, and we had to have a conversation in the beginning to just be like, hey, listen, the next 5 years are going to be crazy, but if we're going to see what's what, then
that's what I
it has
hate
to
because I feel like I'm like foot halfway down on the gas now because I'm like I know what I have to put in, but I also know like if I put in that time right now, what detriment it'll be to the family.
Yeah.
So I'm like stuck, but it's kind of a nice purgatory to be in because I'm like, oh yeah, I don't want to drive to,
Schenectady,
Bear, Delaware for a $10 show on a Tuesday night.
Right.
And now I'm like, yeah, I probably should stay home with my family. Like, okay.
Yeah.
exactly.
So it is fun like learning how to navigate it like that. But yeah.
And where can people find you? What's the why don't you plug yourself a
Montague
little?
Comedy on Instagram. That's the main thing. I don't have a podcast currently, so if you're a listener and you want to get, if you want to get in the basement in here with me, hit me up. And I started running it's going to be a monthly show. Al's on the next one,
on that,
Upcycle
yeah.
Comedy over in South Jersey. So come out. It's an awesome show. We had a first one like 2 weeks ago. Had like 50 people show up to the first one. Great crowd. All like, it was all parents in the town that are like, oh my God, we get a night out and we're a block and a half from our house.
Yeah,
and we're hammered.
That's
like,
what you need.
it's BYOB too.
Home.
So
Yeah, we're walking
Oh,
home.
yeah.
BYOB.
so it's becoming like a night out kind of
That's
hang.
great.
So you'll be on one too.
Yeah.
I think
great.
May. I'll hit you up with the date.
Great. That'll build. That'll be nice.
Yeah. So yeah, check that out. Other than that, yeah.
Awesome.
Catch me bopping around your local parks.
That's right.
That was a weird out.
Yeah,
My kids are there. They're playing.
You can catch them
You want
throwing
to
up.
do that one, or you want
Yeah,
to leave
catch
it
me
at
avoiding eye contact with all you parents at parks because I don't want to speak to you.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
You can catch
What
me
about you,
drinking
Albert? What do you
gin
got
and
coming up?
Sorry, Albert. Go
What
ahead.
do I have coming up? Shit, when is this gonna air?
This is gonna air
April 18th. You can catch Al at Upcycle Comedy.
Episode comedy. I got a Don't Tell. I got a Port
Yeah, this will be
Carbon coming
mid-April.
up.
This will be mid-April. I think.
Okay, so we get Port Carbon. I'll be in Hawaii for a week. There's that.
catch you out in Hawaii, everyone.
Come on out to Hawaii. It's all on my Instagram. I'm never really good at remembering things. You guys kind of know that about me by now. So just check it out, Albert Davis Comedy, and then come support and laugh with us. That'd be great.
Yeah, I get some autism awareness stuff because
yeah.
April's Autism Awareness Month. So by the time this airs, I've already done one at Soul Joel's. But on the 11th, I'm up in Waverly, New York, doing another one. I'm with board teachers this month, and then I'm going on a cruise with the family to the Bahamas.
Ah, okay.
Nice.
I got
Getting that sun,
a
right?
nice
Yeah.
week. I'm going to be in the comedy club. Like, give me 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Just give me
Do you
a
think
tight
do you think
five.
they'll throw you some
They
time?
won't. No,
They
because
don't never,
I've already
they'll never
talked
go
to.
off.
They're really
script.
tight with
I know
like, their
three-
stuff for that.
I know three comics who are currently Carnival comics, and they're not on. But it's very corporate-y in that way.
That's the vetting process. It's like getting an FBI for a cruise, isn't it?
Yeah,
Don't
well, you
they-
have to have an agent, and then then that person can talk to them, and then you have to have it depends. Carnival, you need 3 30-minute sets, one family-friendly to late night.
Meanwhile,
And
we're
then-
just trying to do shows at carnivals. Like, you can catch me at St. Margaret's.
Ding, ding,
It's
ding,
carnival
ding,
season,
ding,
baby.
ding, ding, ding.
And someone too, like 45, like Royal Caribbean,
Yeah.
it depends on the cruise line. But yeah, so I'm excited to go on that, and then I'm down in Virginia again at the end of April. So yeah, JayYoderComedy.com. Follow it up. Neil, what do you got going on?
Yeah, you can check me out at I am Neil Wood on all the social medias. And yeah, the studio's up and running. So if you want to come and book the studio, you can do that now at droptent.com. And check out all our shows over at Myers Brewing Company every second and fourth Friday over at droptent.com/tickets and events. Thanks so much, Jay. Good job, guys.
Look at that. Thank you for coming, John. We
Thanks for
appreciate
having
having
me,
you
It was a
today.
good combo with
I
mine.
feel like that was just all the intro.
Yes, yeah, right.
Now we're gonna get into the
Well, we'll
dad
get back to those
conversations.
magnet tiles.
Yeah,
So we want to
yeah.
get those PB and
That
J's aren't
tower's
going to
not-
make themselves.
The good thing is, we didn't even have to ask you questions. We just let you talk. You just
Well, yeah, well, he's a
Dude,
good-
I'm
yeah,
so
he's a
excited to
good
be
role.
out of the house
This is
talking to
the
adult
easiest
humans.
podcast.
Like,
Right.
it's,
Well,
I'm not
yeah.
answering stupid questions from a
John's like, you guys
4-year-old.
just want to do a 3-hour podcast
Yeah.
real quick?
That'd be great.
Please,
I just
God.
stay.
No, you can actually. I'll run this if you want to.
Yeah. No, man. Thanks for coming
Yeah,
by.
thanks
It's
for having
awesome.
me, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to Seriously Dad on the Drop 10 Media Network. Like, comment, follow, or subscribe to @SeriouslyDadPod on everything. Find the Seriously Dads on Instagram @AlbertDavisComedy and @Jay Yoder Comedy. Seriously Dad is produced, sound mixed, edited, and art directed by me, James Neil Wood. Go to jameswoodart.com or droptent.com for more.
Seriously, lad.
This has been a Drop Tent Media production.